Hey YouTube, it's GMB Hall, and we're playing RPGs. Today, we're going to be looking at Plan, Prep, and Play Series Episode 1.2 on Wilderness Encounters and see what happens when the players confront the ghouls that we rolled up in our previous episode. It's pretty nasty. There are 6 of them coming at the players. Fortunately, they did not roll to be surprised. And also, fortunately, I make a huge mistake in this game. A very small detail that I overlooked that changed the course of this entire encounter. And we'll talk about what happens when you make mistakes as a GM and what you can do about it. So yeah, let's get right into this encounter. Just to be clear, we have noises coming from this area. We have noises coming from this area.
Do they sound the same or do they sound distinctly different?
They sound relatively the same.
Like what? Can you mimic them?
Oma's coming here.
Yeah, can you do the screen for us? Please?
They're not actually. I take that back. They're not making too much noise. But you do hear, you know.
Is it nighttime or is it daylight?
We'll go with I don't know. Roll a d6.
Oh.
How about the light of this actual picture that we can see, meaning it's probably like late afternoon or early morning. Probably late afternoon, maybe.
Let's do late afternoon.
Okay.
This is what it kind of looks like.
Instead of pulling out a torch.
Got a good ambiance.
I mean, if you want to, I also sometimes roll time for encounters. I've noticed that it doesn't really play too much into the effect, but same kind of deal. 1, 2 morning on a d6, 3, 4 afternoon, 5, 6 evening, and you know, that way you can pick out a time. In this case, late afternoon seemed fine. Oftentimes going with the flow of things and just getting into the game is my typical strategy rather than nitpick these things. You could always light a torch. I mean, it doesn't have to be nighttime for you to light a torch.
That's true, but if I have a torch out and my shield out, I don't have my axe out.
All right, Jude is with a mission. She's been somewhat altered by these latest events. She's maybe going through some psychological, maybe you could call it evolution. She is holding on to her. I forgot what her religious symbol is that she carries, but whatever it is, she's holding it in one hand on her neck.
Sun.
And she's gonna walk over to maybe towards the sound with her mace drawn in that direction.
Okay.
And says, "Mother, you're fucking doing. I'm gonna you up. Get the hell out of here or show your face."
Dude.
I mostly just wanted to experiment with bleeping things out on my video. I'm not opposed to poor language, and this is not a channel for kids, so be prepared for descriptions of violence and cursing from time to time. That was just me playing around with bleeping.
Certainly describes the versatility of the word.
Yeah.
And Oma has come over here on the other side of the cart where the other noises were coming from, and she's just standing ready.
And Billy is just echoes with a behind her.
Gump tells Chunk, "Be ready," and he's got his shield and his axe ready. The woods.
And Onyx is getting in the cart. She's hiding in the cart.
Gotcha. All right. At that point, you hear a roar, and out of the foliage appear what were once humans, but now warped with some horrific dark magic. They're still wearing armor and some clothing, bits of clothing from recently, tattered clothing that looks like it could have belonged to the Silveraxe. But they are horrifically contorted and move with an animalism that is shocking. We are now in combat.
They look scary as shit.
Can you put up a big picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm gonna try to turn him.
I've got the spell already up.
All right. So before we do initiative, what are we doing here? You said
doing
spells.
A spell. Oma's doing a spell.
Gump is gonna use his action to take out a torch and light it because he's seen it. He's not a cinephile, but like he's seen it out in movies, and he knows undead don't like fire, just like everything else. Nobody likes fire, so he's gonna light up a torch.
Yeah, that's fine. Word. Okay. Let's what out of curiosity, what spell are you revving up, Oma?
Turn undead.
Turning undead, both of us.
Oh, both of you are doing turn
I got
undead.
my hand on my holy symbol, and she's getting ready. She had her hand on her holy symbol already. She was ready for trouble.
Okay. All right. So, let's roll initiative.
Should I keep going?
Galio's fired.
I got it too.
I'm fired.
Oh, he rolled a 6 though.
Oh, sorry. When did you roll that 6?
Boom. For being surprised. I mean, the dice are not lying. Like, I mean, I rolled 2 2s. People were fleeing and now we're running into monsters. I mean, a huge expel just went off. I mean, that's how it should be, honestly.
Yeah, I'm thinking these guys are undead. They could be mutated, but clerics do what they do. So I am preparing to fight a turn them.
All right.
Yeah, I think Elf. Wait, what are you preparing?
So we've got 2 clerics. We go one to each side.
Because we got Elf with the sleep too. We can do that.
They're
Yeah, hold
undead.
on.
Let us turn them.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because we can do several at a time. If it
I would
works.
go one to each side, like, which we already are. You've got Jude on one side and Oma on the other.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool spell, whatever that is.
Gump is standing next to Oma. He's like, he holds up the torch. He's like, yeah. Pray to get these motherfuckers out of here. We don't want to.
All right. So we know the dilly. Any movement, anybody moving into combat to confront these creatures. You basically have to roll 2d6. You're both level 2, correct?
Yeah.
So you're gonna need.
Isn't Oma level? Is Oma level?
Oma's level 3.
So you're gonna need to
Fine.
roll on a 2d6. You're gonna need to each roll a 7 or higher to attempt to turn. If you are successful, then you roll an additional 2d6 to determine how many number of HD are affected and turned away. Okay, so this is where I make the mistake in the rules, okay? And let's check out what I messed up so that we don't mess it up again. We have, for turning undead, a couple things to discuss. One is that it says cleric can invoke the power of their deity to repel undead monsters encounter. It does not say when they can do this in the combat procedure, okay? So my group assumed that it was a magic spell, and that makes sense to me. So that's how we ran it. And, but theoretically, maybe it doesn't have to be a magic spell. I don't know if there's something in BX or the Rule Cyclopedia that people know about, or if there's another way that you run it, let me know. But the mistake that I do make, that I have to own up to here, is that for turning undead for these particular characters, Jude is a level 2 character. The ghouls are a 2-star creature, okay? Which means that she actually has to roll a 9, okay? Not a 7, like I said. It is true that Oma, who is a level 3 cleric, does have to roll a 7 or higher to turn these undead. So just wanted to clarify that when you are running these particular turn undead moments, make sure that especially for 2-star, it doesn't seem like any other number has this issue. It's just this 2-star creature, which is what threw me for a loop. Be careful that you're actually rolling the right amount. Anyway, let's see what happens, and I'll talk about how I deal with mistakes in my games. Any ranged combat? Any ranged combat before we move into magic?
Yeah, I still want to shoot him beforehand, before the spell goes off.
Yeah, so let's...
Bam!
Boom.
All right, we'll table that for now. Before that, let shoot an arrow and tell me who you're shooting at, Billy.
I'm going to shoot.
Billy, you suck at shooting arrows. You need to go face to face, man.
Well, when they run up, I will go.
I don't know.
face to
Last
face.
time, if without Billy shooting those arrows, those ants probably would have killed us.
That's true.
No, I agree. He did it once. Let's not give him too much credit.
Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna shoot towards the front guy at number 4.
All right, this guy bursts out of the wood. You draw an arrow, and you hit.
Boom!
Boom.
Amazing.
All right, roll your damage. Anybody else doing any ranged attacks? So, before we move forward, no other
The
range.
Granitor's going to throw a spear. He's going to throw a spear.
All right, spear goes wide. So Billy's arrow lands home right in the chest of this horrific monster, this fast zombie, I guess you could say, and it stumbles a little bit, but then picks itself up and begins again to careen his way towards you. At that moment, that's when... can you tell me what Jude is doing, what her spell looks like, how she goes about casting this?
Right, hang on a second. So she approached the situation. I said she's holding her what do you call it? Her holy symbol. And so she had that clutch. And whenever she sees, like, gets eyes on what they may be undead, then she starts to to recite, something along the lines of, "Hey, Lore, vanquish this evil, rid them of the world, be gone." And she holds up her fist, as she has done so many times successfully.
Excellent. Roll your 2d6 and see how many you drive away.
Roll 2d6, be gone, 6 of you fuckers.
No, it's hit dice. It's not 6 total.
Yeah, it's hit dice. So that's a 6 then.
So 6 hit dice.
The holy light from your symbol, you'll have to remind me again what it is at some point, beams out this...
A sun. It's a sun.
Oh.
It's a sun.
Good.
The sun.
The sun basically gleams a solar flare at these things, and they immediately stop on the ground, grab their eyes. Ah! They begin like hissing, and again shielding their faces, they cower and scramble back into the woods, and they are gone.
Woohoo!
It's a sterling silver sun is what you have. Sterling silver.
And the sterling silver sun fades after the magical burst of energy.
It's time to upgrade to the 24 karat gold sun.
All right, so let's do Oma. 2d6. We're gonna looking for a 7.
2d6. Come on.
Boom.
Wow, I think you got it.
Yeah.
There was no doubt that Oma was getting a 12. She is the fucking...
Yeah.
My God.
She's the messenger. She's the Apollo of the Greek, of the Halor, like,
These guys are
mythology.
again.
She's the messenger, bro.
Oops,
Okay.
I didn't mean to do that.
So another 6. So roll one more.
Yeah, you're right. So roll
Roll
another
one more
one.
d6. Oh, 7. Damn, if you would have rolled a 4th 6, I'd have been like, this isn't crazy.
And the same
You don't
thing.
only
need it.
need-
Don't push your luck. We're good.
Can you explain to me what your what happened?
She same thing. She has a words that she says, and she holds her symbol up, and she says, "Palor, mighty God of light and all that is good, please protect your humble servants from these undead beasts."
Oh,
Nice.
That's
All right.
MVP level fucking crazy.
I had. She said that before. That's what she said last time. I had it.
all the good in you is
Yep.
focused, all your prayer, all of your hope, all of your faith into this holy symbol, and it just explodes outward. And this almost knocks them back. It's like a shockwave, how powerful it is. And again, these ghouls as well turn and flee as fast as they can into the underbrush.
Yeah,
And that is the end of combat.
Gump turns to Oma. He's like, I knew I sit next to you for a reason.
So Jude
Yep.
is emotionally overwhelmed by this, and she falls to her knees in the snow and starts weeping.
Oh my goodness. So Oma will go and comfort her, and they will both pray and thank Paylor.
No, so Jude kisses Oma on the mouth and then like stops.
What?
And says, I don't know what I just did myself."
No. Uh,
So yeah, you could see how that one little mistake changed the course of the entire combat. If I had, been rules as written, if I had paid attention to what the book said, then those ghouls would have crashed into the players, and it would have gotten a little hairy there. My rule of thumb on making mistakes, mechanical mistakes in the game that do have a fundamentally change the outcome of an encounter, my feeling is if the players survive, the game survives. If a player dies because of a mechanical oversight or mistake, that can kind of lead to bad feelings. But in this case, the players triumphed. We had some cool moments in role-playing of the characters saying their prayers and driving these things back. So I'm not too concerned about making a mistake, other than, my GM ethos taking a hit. But, if you can't bear to make mistakes as a GM running a fairly esoteric rules-light game system, then, you're going to have to get over that, because mistakes are part of the learning process. Anyway, also, clerics are awesome, as you can see. I mean, these ghouls are nasty. I didn't get into their character stat sheet because they were driven off in the first round, but had they attacked, it would have been pretty gnarly. So starting at level 1, clerics being able to drive off undead, things like skeletons, things like zombies, things like ghouls, shadows, etc., is an extremely valuable asset to the group, and could save their lives from possibly a TPK or player character death. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm rambling here. Learn from my mistakes, learn from my foolishness, and be a better GM. And if you have a different way of running Turn Undead other than magic, let me know. I'm curious to see what y'all do. In the meantime, I'm gonna go and eat some pizza, I think. So yeah, take her easy and keep on rolling, everybody. See you next time.